Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video I'm be comparing the Chevy Trailblazer to the Chevy Trax to see which Chevy crossover you should get. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Large Miller Chevy here in Provo for giving me some time with both of the cars. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check what they have currently. I'll also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. So under the hood of the Trax is a turbocharged 1.2 liter 3-cylinder that goes through a 6-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 28 around town and then 32 on the highway, with power outputs being 137 horsepower and then 162 pound-feet of torque. Now powering the Trailblazer is a turbocharged 1.3 liter 3-cylinder that goes through a CVT. Interesting. Fuel economy is 29 around town and then 33 on the highway, with power outputs being 155 horsepower and 174 pound-feet of torque. Before I move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So seeing these side by side, they look so similar. It's kind of hilarious. You can see they both have the split light design with the front end, and I picked active package with both of them, so that's why the trim there at the bottom, for example, is the same. But the Trax is kind of a little bit squished compared to the Trailblazer, if that makes sense. The Trailblazer is a little bit taller. But yeah, I mean, look at those front ends. They're so similar. Now, tire and wheel setup. 225 by 55 by 18. 225 by 60 by 17. So, interesting the difference. You can see the blacked out wheels here on the Trax. On the Trailblazer, you've got the silver trim, and then the Trailblazer actually has all-terrain tires. So this active package is active in the off-road world. And look at the difference with the fender flares. You can see the fender flares here on the Trax versus the Trailblazer. The Trax are a little bit smaller. And you can see the Trailblazer has the white painted mirror cap and then also white roof as well, whereas that's all body painted. But this area right here on both of them looks shockingly similar when you taper off to the rear. And then the Trailblazer is, again, sits up higher, whereas the Trax is a little bit shorter. Now with the storage space in the Trax, it's practical. You've got a cargo cover built in from the factory, quite a bit of space here on the back. We've got a spare tire underneath as well, just a nice place. And then you can see with this, pretty straightforward. Cool taillight design and all of that. Very interesting how the back end kind of looks squished in a way, at least when you see it next to the Trailblazer. Now with the Trailblazer, I think this one has an automatic hatch. Oh yeah, fancy. That's what the extra money is going into. See, more of a traditional SUV kind of hatch area. Still have a spare tire underneath. But it doesn't look like you really get any more space per se. It's just more SUV-like. And then press that button and that will lower the hatch. Taillights are pretty cool here on the Trailblazer. So it just looks a little bit different, but the size similarity with these is actually shocking. Now in the back of the Trailblazer, good legroom, got a little storage pocket. And this active package gives you these cool seats. I think they're pretty fun. And then you've got pretty good headroom. Now the Trax still has good space, not quite as much as the Trailblazer, so there's our first difference. Storage pocket here. And then you get cool seats with the active package again. Perforated all down the center. Headroom's actually a little bit less. Again, that kind of sloped roof line. And start her up. Ooh. Full digital gauge cluster here on the Trailblazer. You can see all the controls here on the front, radio controls on the back of the steering wheel, by the way. And then notice like the cloth trim here. I think it's pretty cool. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. Also, this does have a heated steering wheel, something to note. Physical light controls too here on the side. And backup camera in reverse. It's pretty nice. Yeah, pretty easy to use infotainment system. I like the kind of like design here in the dash with all the trim. I think that's pretty cool. Single zone climate, heated seats, got little charging ports here. And look at this, auto stop start, you got your lane departure, stability control, it's for the sport mode, and that's for like your all-weather mode in a way. Wireless phone charging pad, again shifter for that CVT. It'll be interesting to see how these drive compared to each other. Some cup holders, some more storage there as well. And something that's big is the panoramic sunroof. This has a panoramic sunroof. So it's hard to see with the glare, but 2025 Trailblazer and 33,520 is the MSRP. Now over in the Trax, guess what? Gauge cluster looks shockingly identical. Same thing with all the steering wheel controls. including the heated steering wheel. See with the door panel here. I guess no blind spot warning with the mirrors. And yeah, this is identical. So the infotainment system's the same. Single zone climate, heated seats. Got a little bit less features here. Still have auto stop start if you want to turn that off. Shifter for the 6-speed. See the cup holders here. Oh boy. Look at these seats. I think these seats actually look cooler. The Trax. See the dash design there. No sunroof in this, so that is something that's different. Now when it comes to pricing, the stickers for $24,995. So with that being said, let's take them out, drive them, and see which one's the best. Well, Chevy, excuse me, Chevy Trax. Visibility, by the way. This is a cool, affordable car. I'm glad that we're starting to get more of these, and I hope that we get more of these cars on the market in the coming years. I think that automakers might do so because of the sales slump that the auto market is currently seeing with new cars, where they're going to kind of realize that, yeah, the big expensive vehicles might have big profit margins, but you know, part of being an automaker is just moving metal, and I think General Motors really does understand that being an automaker, obviously, you know, as a company, you got to make money, but it's also about moving metal. And this is metal that can move. Look at that torque. I love this powertrain. Not so sure about the long-term reliability of a turbocharged 3-cylinder. I'm with you guys on that. But in terms of the performance, it's great. It's really torquey. The 6-speed automatic's fantastic. It just keeps it right in the power band. And so overall performance is just impressive. It does a really good job in all sorts of scenarios. I mean, look at this. Zoom in. This powertrain really is all about torque. Really is all about torque. But it's impressive. I like it. I think they did a really good job. And this handles well too. It's got kind of like that nice flat cornering feel. It's just a good ride overall. Look at the suspension here, just bump them. I mean, it does good. It does good. So overall, I like the Chevy Trax a lot. I think it's a great car. I know some people are gonna be wishy-washy on it, because I will compare this to, you know, Corolla and Civic. It's got some great features, and you know, when you compare it to the Corolla and Civic feature to feature, this is more affordable. It's front-wheel drive like those as well. You can get a Corolla with all-wheel drive, but most of them are front-wheel drive. So yeah, I just see it as a great value. And I mean, here's the deal. Most people trade their cars every 3-4 years. This has a 5-year 60,000 mile powertrain warranty. So if you really don't trust the powertrain, keep it for 5 years and 60,000 miles, and then, you know, once that warranty's up, get rid of it, right? See how the experience is, because it's like, if something breaks on it during that warranty period, well, Chevy's paying for it, not you. So I don't know. I think it'd be worth a try, right? And especially, I don't know, especially in this world of cell phone cars is what I like to call it, where these modern cars just don't seem to be as reliable and durable as the old ones. Kind of makes all the sense to just get something like this that's more affordable, because it's like, if it's gonna like break just like the more expensive stuff anyways, might as well spend less money on the car itself, ride out that warranty, and then get something new. And it looks like that's what the automakers want us to do. Trailblazer active. Visibility. Let's set off. Interesting they put a CVT in this. Because if you get, I'm pretty sure if you get the all-wheel drive version, you get the 9-speed. That's probably another reason to get the all-wheel drive version, to get the 9-speed instead of the CVT. But we'll see how this performs. Gosh, it's crazy how torquey Chevy's 3-cylinders are. Like, I know a lot of people are not really on the 3-cylinder bandwagon. I'm with you. I'm with you. But boy, oh boy, does this produce some low-end torque. Go drive one. It's pretty darn impressive. It's much better than you'd expect. Much better than I expected. But overall, the Trailblazer's it's a nice drive. And it's got some cool things. It's got like these little grab handle things down here. I just noticed that. It's a pretty neat car overall. And one of the things I really like about this is that it's got so much low-end torque. Look at that. It's a good ride. You do feel the CVT. I think the 9-speed definitely serves this car much better, but there's probably a reason why they're doing the CVT with the front-wheel drive. This car's packaged very strangely. Front-wheel drive, CVT, but then off-road package. It's kind of like the looks package, right? So, all in all, the Trailblazer is, yeah, it's a good little crossover for, you know, $33,000. And this is a more loaded up one. You can get these under $30,000. Just depends on how you spec them out. But yeah, for about that price range, I don't know. I think this is it's a pretty nice vehicle. It drives well. Don't really have anything bad to say about it. So that's the Trailblazer. And comparing this to the Trax, to sum up that video, I like the Trax more. I think that this Trailblazer, don't get me wrong, it's a nice car, but I do think that the Trax just makes more sense. It's very similar in terms of, oh dang it, it's very similar in terms of looks and features and drive and all of that, and even engine is very similar, how the power feels, but it's $25,000 versus $33,000 here. That's a lot of money, especially at this price point. That's a big percentage change. So yeah, if you're getting all-wheel drive, right, yeah, you can't get the Trax because the Trax doesn't have all-wheel drive. But if you're doing front-wheel drive, I'm on Team Trax all day. Let me know your thoughts.